Everyone, welcome to AM Career Solutions. In the previous video, I have said you about the capital budgeting techniques and what are they. So now I will discuss today about the traditional methods of capital budgeting technique, that is ARR. And I think I will only discuss ARR in this video, and the next video I will upload the payback period. Okay, so stick to my channel. अगर आप सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए भूल गए हैं तो सब्सक्राइब कीजिए एंड डोंट फॉरगेट टू प्रेस द बेल आइकन बिकॉज व्हेन आई विल अपलोड द नेक्स्ट वीडियो यू विल गेट द नोटिफिकेशन फॉर दैट. दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वीडियो. प्लीज वॉच दिस वीडियो टिल एंड. पूरा लास्ट तक वीडियो देखिए एंड लेट अस कम टू अवर टॉपिक. So I have said you yesterday that I will be uploading the next topic on traditional techniques of capital budgeting. So here, before knowing that, let us know actually these two important things, that is project. When you are going to evaluate any long term investment or long term project, that are of two types. That means a project are divided into two types. One is independent project, another is a mutually exclusive project, but or dependent project you can say. So what are the independent project? The independent project are those projects which are not depending on each other. That means you can accept all the project if they are giving more than expected rate of return. Expected return. That means suppose आपको 10 बस खरीदना है, you have to buy 10 buses. That means in that time period what will happen, if you have to buy 10 bus, you can accept any 10 bus which are giving you more return. Like suppose आपको 10 स्टॉक्स खरीदना है, स्टॉक मार्केट से चूज करके 10 स्टॉक्स खरीदना है. जो स्टॉक्स आपको आपका एक्सपेक्टेड रिटर्न से ज़्यादा रिटर्न देगा, आपका इवेल्युएट करके पता चला आफ्टर इवैल्यूएशन ऑफ दैट थिंग्स you have concluded that this 10 stocks will be giving you the best return. That means you can accept the 10. If all stocks are giving more than expected rate of return, that you can accept all the also. But the dependent project are or mutual exclusive project are that projects those are depending on each other. That means if you will accept one project, the another will be deleted or another will be rejected. Like suppose you have to buy one buses. That means you have only that much of money in which you can buy only one bus. आपके पास इतना पैसा है जितने में आप एक ही बस खरीद सकते हैं. तो क्या करेंगे, अभी दो कंपनी में आप गए और एक कंपनी दिखाया आपको 10 लाख का एक बस दिखाया और एक के 20 लाख का दिखाया और दोनों से आपको रिटर्न सेम मिलता है. लाइक आपको हर साल उतना ही इनकम होगा, 10 लाख में जितना 20 लाख में उतना. तो आप किसको एक्सेप्ट करेंगे? ज़्यादा प्रॉफिटेबल ये है तो इसलिए आपको इसको एक्सेप्ट करेंगे और इसको रिजेक्ट कर देंगे. अगर ये ज़्यादा रिटर्न दिया होगा तो इसको एक्सेप्ट करेंगे. अगर आपके पास पैसा नहीं है तो इसको करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि दीज आर द म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूसिव. दैट मीन्स acceptance of all, if you will accept this will be rejected. You have to reject this. These are the mutual exclusive project or dependent project. So are you getting the difference between two? When you can accept all, if they are giving more than expected rate of return, when you are accepting all, that is independent. When you have to accept one, and in that case you have to reject other one instead of that. That is mutual exclusive. Okay, let us know the cash flow pattern. In mutual exclusive project also, when you are accepting any projects, there are two types of cash flow. That is conventional cash flow and non-conventional cash flow. So what is a conventional cash flow? It is the pattern of cash flow. It's a pattern of cash flow when there is a single cash outflow. Single cash outflow, but followed by a number of cash inflows. ओके, सो व्हाट विल हैपन इन कन्वेंशनल कैश फ्लो, आप एक ही बार में खर्च करेंगे. यू हैव टू ओनली इन्वेस्ट वंस. दैट मीन्स कैश विल गो वंस बट यू विल बी गेटिंग रिटर्न एवरी डे और इन एवरी मंथ रेगुलरली. दैट इज कन्वेंशनल कैश फ्लो. लाइक यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन ए बॉस, ओके, और यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन ए बिग मशीनरी टू प्रोड्यूस एनीथिंग. सपोज आप एक मशीन खरीद रहे हैं जो आपको पापड़ देगा और अच्छा कुछ प्रोड्यूस करके देगा, आप उसको बेच के हर दिन पैसा कमा सकते हैं. You can buy a machinery and you have to invest once you have to give some money, but every day you will get return from that. That means cash inflow on every month or every day you are getting the inflows. So that is conventional. Non-conventional means cash inflow are there and cash outflow are there. That means you have to daily. You have to regularly give the cash or payment. You have to make payment every day, and you have to earn also, or you can earn every day also. Like you are opening a hotel. In that case, you have to every day you have to एक्सपेंसेस, so you are incur some expenses regularly. लाइक आप एक होटल खरीद रहे हैं, उस टाइम में आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, आपको एवरीडे खरीदना पड़ेगा, वेजिटेबल खरीदना पड़ेगा, राइस खरीदना पड़ेगा, मीट खरीदना पड़ेगा, ये सब चीज़ खरीदना पड़ेगा. कैश आउटफ्लो आपका एवरीडे होगा और हर दिन भी ऑल्सो आपको कैश इनफ्लो मिलेगा. दैट इज नॉन कन्वेंशनल. ओके, सो लेट अस लर्न व्हाट इज कैपिटल बजटिंग टेक्निक. So see here, the capital budgeting techniques. It is divided into two types: traditional and modern. Traditional, it is not considering the time value of money, where modern is considering time value of money. Okay, so in traditional we have ARR, accounting rate of return or average rate of return, and payback period. Okay, this is payback period. Okay, so in modern method we have, it is considering the time value of money, and the methods are NPV. Second one is PI index, and third one is IRR, that is internal rate of return. It is profitable index, it is net present value. Okay, so let us learn traditional technique first. So the first one is ARR, that is accounting or average rate of return. So how you are calculating that? Average accounting profit after tax per year divided by total investment into 100. Okay, average PAT, profit after tax means average PAT. That means average profit after giving the tax divided by total investment into 100. Okay, so let us see. A company is considering a new project for which the investment data are as below or follows. So cash outflow is 2 lakhs. That means the company is investing 2 lakhs at a time. The depreciation is 20% per annum on SLM. SLM is a straight line method. That means you are giving equally every year. You have to give depreciation 20% equally. So forecasted annual income before charging depreciation after all other charges are as follows. So what will be the income we are forecasting? In the first year it will give 1 lakh. In the second year it is giving us income 1 lakh. Third year it is giving 80,000. Fourth year it is giving 80,000, and in fifth year it is giving 40,000. That means only the company is investing 2 lakhs at first. Cash outflow, that means it is non-conventional in nature. Or conventional, sorry, it is conventional nature. That means only cash outflow is there once, and we are getting a number of cash inflows here, 5 year. So let us calculate. So SLM, that means this is the straight line method of charging the depreciation. So first year getting 1 lakh, second year we are getting income to 1 lakh, third year 80, fourth year 80, and in the fifth year we are getting 40,000. Depreciation will be equally. That means how much machine cost will be? 2 lakh. Depreciation is 20%. 2 lakh, that means 20% of 2 lakh, or you can say 20% or 20 by 100 into 2 lakhs. That is, you can say 40,000. You are getting, or you are giving depreciation of 40,000 each year. So see here, in the first year you are 40,000, because you have to give depreciation every year and SLM. That means in equal amount. Okay, so you are getting depreciation here. Then calculate the PAT. How you will calculate the PAT? 40,000, you are getting 60,000. Here 60,000. Here 80,000 minus 40,000, 40,000. Here also same 40,000, and then the last year 40,000 and 40,000. You are now getting PAT. Here is 0 in the fifth year. Okay, so let us see here how to calculate ARR. So at first we have to calculate average accounting PAT, because the formula is here. Like average accounting profit after tax per year. How to calculate that? We have 2 lakhs. So let us see. 60,000, 60,000, 1 lakh 20,000, and this is 40,000, 40,000, 80,000. That means 2 lakh. We have PAT is 2 lakh, total PAT. So see here, 2 lakh, and we have 5 years. That means it is giving income for 5 years. That means average accounting PAT will be 2 lakh by 5, that is 40,000. So what will be the ARR? 40,000 divided by 2 lakh into 100, that is 20%. That means ARR will be 20%, or accounting rate of return or average rate of return is 20%. So how the company will consider the project, whether it will accept or reject? Suppose the company's cost of capital is 15%. Cost of capital, I have said you, equity or cost of equity or cost of debt or whatever the cost of company have, it is 15%. Suppose it has borrowed money from somewhere, that is 15%. Here we are getting, company is getting 20%. That is, it is more than that. If it is more than that, then the company will accept this project. Okay, so here if the project will be independent, compare with the cutoff error. That means we are calculating the error. Whatever the error we are requiring, if that will be more than that, we will be accepting that project. Okay, if in mutual exclusive project, if we have to accept all, then in that case what we will have to do, if everyone is giving 20% or more than the accounting rate of return, we will accept all. Okay, independent project. So here the company is giving like this. So if the independent project, we have to accept one. Sorry, we can accept everyone in independent project. Mutual exclusive or dependent project, if actually the highest one, suppose the company rate of return is 15%, the company choose 2 or 5, one is giving 20, another is 18%, another is 17%, then company will accept 20% because it have to accept the highest one. The highest rate of return will be accepted by the company. That is ARR. Okay, so let us see the accept and rejectance rule. If the project are independent in nature, we need to compare the calculated ARR with a cutoff rate. Here the 15% is a cutoff rate, where calculated ARR is 20%. That means if calculated ARR is more than, this is 20%, this is 15%. If this is more than that, then the project will be accepted. If a calculated ARR is less than the cutoff rate, then project will be rejected. That means if this will be 25%, suppose, that means it is less. In that case, we have to reject that project. So what are the merits of ARR? Easy to calculate, as we are calculating it very easily, simple to understand, and we can use that. Information can be easily obtained from project or profit and loss account. In the profit and loss account, suppose you have a business or a company have issue profit, every company have issue P&L or profit and loss account. From that we can get the PAT and we can calculate the ARR. Okay, so the demerit is it does not take, or it takes the help of accounting profit rather than cash flow. It takes only accounting profit, because PAT is nothing, it's a accounting profit. We are ignoring the actual profit also, or the cash flow also we are ignoring. This is the first demerit. The second demerit is it does not takes into account the time value of money. As is the traditional method, I have said you, it is not considering the time value of money, which will be considered in NPV, IRR as well as in profitable index. It also does not differentiate within the size of investment required for each project. Actually, if the investment size will be big, it is not considering, or small, it is not considering. Like this, suppose you have 3 projects, A, B, C, and every has, the average PAT is, in case of A is 2000, is 5000, here is 10,000. Total investment, suppose we have invested 10 lakh here, 10,000 here, 25,000 here, and 50,000 here. Where if you are calculating ARR will be 20, 20, 20. Everyone is same, but because which one will be accepted? According, if you are following this principle, we have to accept everyone. But actually, see the profitable one. We are investing 10, here we are getting 2. We are investing 25, is 5. We are 50 and we are getting 10. That means it is actually ignoring the size of investment. So it is one of the demerit. So for today, I am just completing the ARR part. In the next video, I will be uploading the payback period. The next or the second technique of a traditional budgeting, or traditional method of a capital budgeting technique. Okay, so for this today, this much. Okay, so now I am ending my sessions here. So if you are liking this channel, अगर आपको मेरा वीडियो अच्छा लगा, इट्स a very important video, इसको शेयर कीजिए, लाइक कीजिए, और if you have any queries, you can comment down below. Okay, thank you.